Been through a storm, no use in holding. But you would come rescue me. Somehow your love set me free. Hey y'all, I'm back, y'all. I got the power. I got the power now. Got my power back, got my strength back. I just want to thank everybody for wishing me well. I was like down and out last week, and before that, I had a lot of written reports to do. So that's why I haven't been on YouTube for what? It's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks almost. So I'm so glad to be back, and I'm coming back with another case study brought to you by one of my viewers. So I hope that she pops up in the chat. So we got some people up in here already. Lala, what's up? You said definitely hot in Texas. Yes. Angela, we got a diggable planet up in the house. What's up? We got the scarred owl. What's up? Tyrell, Bree Slade TV, Queen Tippy Taps, Tippy Taps, Tippy Tie. Yes. All right, get me going. OG Antonio Mafia, what is up? Hey. Libra in the house. I love you too. Meet Murph up in the house. Rebel for life. You said dropping by to tell everybody hi, depending on what I'm doing. I'll see if I can listen in on this. Well, if you can, you can always come back and check the replay. Hey, Queen Dorothy, we got another diggable planet up in the house. Dorothy, you are the best. Make me think of that old school hip hop song. Hey, Cell Pass, another diggable planet up in the house. We got Rise of Phoenix up in the house. All right, so I'm going to wait till some more people filter in. Siobhan just came up in the house. Hey, Siobhan. Hey, Moonlight. Hey, Ellie. All right, so I'm not going to tell y'all who this astrological case. You know me, I like to play the guessing game. So I'm going to have y'all guess, and I'm going to see if somebody's going to guess what this astrological case study, or should I say, who this astrological case study is about. And I only have a couple of hours because I got to teach a class tonight. So I can't be on too long, but I won't be away too long because, again, I'm back on top, feeling back at 100%. So I'm just happy that that shit was over and I'm ready for menopause to begin because this is on some bullshit for real. It be slowing me down. I mean, it's just horrible. Nope, it's not a Leo or Tupac. Good guess though, but not a Leo or Tupac. You said it's a Leo, I'm sure. We got 46 people up in the house. Welcome to all who have just come in. Hey, Starlust. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. Who sang that? That's a famous Leo. Make everything alright, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. You must be my lucky star, 'cause you shine on me wherever you are. Who sang that? Yes, Madonna. That was when Madonna was the shit. Madonna was the shit for like a good decade, and then she just started going crazy. But I was a big Madonna fan from the 80s through to the 90s, even some of her shit that she released in the early 2000s. I was feeling, and then she just got crazy. It was like, her being a Leo and the aging thing, some Leos can kind of go crazy when they find out that they're getting old and they don't ever want to believe that they're going to get old one day. And you see how she's still out there showing her ass and just looking ridiculous. But Madonna was the shit back in the day. Borderline. Feels like I'm going to lose my mind. You just keep on pushing my love over the borderline. And remember, she had Papa don't preach. I'm in trouble deep. Papa don't preach. I've been losing sleep. But I made up my mind. I'm keeping my baby. Remember that shit? I mean, I could sing a whole Madonna compilation for y'all. What's another one? True love, you're the one I'm dreaming of. Your heart beats me like a dove, and I'm gonna be true blue, baby. I love you. But yeah, she had some big hits. The Golden Outfit, I like Madonna best until about 1990. You didn't like when she had that song Frozen? And she had, what's that other one? Beautiful stranger. If I'm smart, then I'll run away. But I'm not, so I guess I'll stay. Haven't you heard? I fell in love with a beautiful stranger. And then Vogue. What year did Vogue come out? That was the shit. To love you. Hey, Indigo. Guess what, Indigo? I got the lights, the Govee lights. I'm digging it. Oh my god, my room looked like a disco. Is to love you. Who got Gemini in the fifth? You got Gemini in the fifth, Indigo. You're everywhere I go. All right, we got 54 people up in here. I guess I'm waiting for my sponsor to show up because one of my viewers sponsored this video that I'm about to get into, and gonna shout her out, but hopefully she'll pop up in the chat. Hey, Africa Shea Butter. Hey, New Eyes. Hey, Me B. Me B said the sex book turned me off from Madonna. It turned me off too, and I never saw it. You said that was some Leo bullshit. I'm a Leo, so I know her games. I wasn't a fan of that sex book either. And you know, she got with Dennis Rodman. She had Big Daddy Kane up in that book. And but Big Daddy Kane was trying to say he didn't get with her like that. I'm like, bullshit. She got with everybody, rappers. She got with Tupac. She got with a number of basketball players, football players too, I guess. But her thing was more so basketball because she got a type. But actually, back then, it really wasn't about a type for her. It was somebody else that she dated too, and they really got into it. But I forgot who it was. Meet Murphy. Okay, here go my sponsor right here. So we can get it started. All right. So before I get into this case study, first let's see if anybody can guess. Some people already put out who they think it could be. Who else do you think this could be? This case study is about. I don't think I've ever talked about this person in terms of their chart on my channel before. So it was a pleasure that Meet Mert basically sponsored this video to give me a chance to do it. And if anybody else wants to put in requests for a celebrity or a famous person, it could even be somebody you know personally, but somebody, they got to be dark sided or something crazy has had to happen to them for me to really want to do a reading on their life. But yeah, you could sponsor an astrological case study and I'll do it. Nicole for the soul, you said Kobe. Nope, it's not Kobe. All right, I'll give y'all a hint. It's a woman. Yup, Meet Murph, the sponsor of this video, said a famous woman singer. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the investigative interview, or you talking about where I was interviewing like actual people on my channel? I gotta do more of those because those are fun. They get deep too. No, not Tammy Terrell, but I wouldn't mind doing Tammy Terrell. No, Tanya TKO. Phyllis Hyman. Phyllis Hyman would be a good case study. I should do her, but I did a video on Phyllis Hyman, but I should do an update. I'm so sorry I missed cancer season, y'all. Like cancer season was like I was totally in hibernation mode because I had to buckle down and get some written reports done. Nope, not Lauren London. I had to get some written reports done. And then, like I said, after that, I was down in terms of my health for a minute, but then I'm back. Hey, Astro Sean. Hey, Jen Hun, you said Bobby DeBarge. No, I mean, yeah, I could do Bobby DeBarge. I should do him. I should do that whole DeBarge clan because they definitely got some type of family curse. But I really blame the mother. Don't even get me started on that mom. Nope, not Tamar, not Whitney. All right, I'll give y'all another clue. She's no longer with us. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. No, she's not a Leo, but she has something in Leo in her chart, which is very apropos to her story and everything like that. And I hope with some of what I say, I don't come across as too insensitive. But you know me, like I can be kind of raw with what I say with certain stuff. Nope, not Aretha. All right, I can't believe nobody is mentioning this. Come on, y'all. All right, once I say it, once I give y'all this last hint, y'all definitely go and get it. Yeah, she's a fire sign. Good. That's another good hint. Yes, Cell Paz got it. Selena. Yes. So this astrological case study is about Selena. And Selena was a Mexican American singer. She sang Tejano music and she became very popular mainly in the Mexican music industry. She really became popular once she passed away, and unfortunately, she was murdered by her fan club president. So her story is very, very tragic, but it's also very strange just how everything went down. But there's a lesson to be learned in all this, which I'll get into right about now. So let me just share my screen. I created a PowerPoint and I don't think, let me see. I wish I had my other let me see if I could pull up cuz I want to do the PowerPoint where I'm showing it the slideshow. Let me see if I can follow along with my phone. Just one second. And then that way I'll be able to read what y'all are saying. But how many if you've seen the Selena movie, press 1. Now, the Selena movie featured Jennifer Lopez. She plays Selena. I think Jennifer Lopez did a really fine job playing Selena. And she did it, she even really favored her, like in terms of face and body and all that. So I think they could have picked a better person. But I heard that they wanted to choose Salma Hayek first. I heard Salma Hayek was the first choice, but Salma Hayek had some type of other movie project going on at the time. And couldn't do it. All right, let me see if I could pull up live. All right, how do I get to my own damn video? All right, go to my channel. Okay, here it is. Now I just gotta turn it down. Okay, here it is. My old ass turn it down. Okay, here it is. My old ass turn it down. Come on, phone. Okay. All right, so now I can see what y'all are saying because I want to pull up the PowerPoint. I mean the slideshow with this. So this is entitled Selena, the Ultimate Sacrifice. And again, Selena was a Mexican American singer, and she became widely loved and adored by her fans. And she met with a tragic end, and it was due to the selfish motives of her fan club president. Actually, I'm gonna have to toggle back and forth because I'm gonna read some of her bio. So actually, let me stop share right now and pull up her bio real quick. So it looked like a lot of y'all have seen the movie. So I'll share that right now, and then let me just read about her background and everything like that. Okay, so Selena Quintanilla Perez was born April 16th, 1971, and she died March 31st, 1995. Known mononymously as Selena, was an American singer and fashion designer. Called the Queen of Tejano music, her contributions to music and fashion made her one of the most celebrated Mexican American entertainers of the late 20th century. In 2020, Billboard magazine put her in third place on their list of greatest Latino artists of all time, based on both Latin albums and Latin songs charts. Media outlets called her the Tejano Madonna. We were just talking about Madonna for her clothing choices. She also ranks among the most influential Latin artists of all time and is credited for catapulting the Tejano genre into the mainstream market. The youngest child of the Quintanilla family, she debuted on the music scene as a member of the band Selena y los Dinos, which also included her elder siblings, A.B. Quintanilla and Suzette Quintanilla. In the 1980s, she was also often criticized and was refused bookings at venues across Texas for performing Tejano music, a male-dominated music genre. However, her popularity grew after she won the Tejano Music Award for Female Vocalist of the Year in 1987, which she won 9 consecutive times. She signed with EMI Latin in 1989 and released her self-titled debut album the same year, while her brother became her principal music producer and songwriter. Selena released Entre a Mi Mundo in 1992, which peaked at #1 on the US Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart for 8 consecutive months. The album's commercial success led music critics to call it the breakthrough recording of her musical career. One of its singles, Como la Flor, became one of her most popular signature songs. Live, 1993, won Best Mexican American Album at the 1994 Grammy Awards, becoming the first recording by a female Tejano artist to do so. In 1994, she was released Amor Prohibido, which became one of the best-selling Latin albums in the United States. That kind of speaks about her love life. It was critically acclaimed as being responsible for Tejano music's first marketable era, as it became one of the most popular Latin music subgenres at the time. Selena was shot and killed on March 31st, 1995 by Yolanda Saldivar, her friend and the former manager of her Selena Etc. boutiques. Saldivar was cornered by police when she attempted to flee and threatened to kill herself, but was convinced to give herself up. She was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison with possible parole after 30 years. 2 weeks later, George W. Bush, then governor of Texas, declared April 16th as Selena Day in Texas. Her posthumous crossover album, Dreaming of You, debuted atop the Billboard 200, making Selena the first Latin artist to accomplish this feat. In 1997, Warner Brothers released Selena, a film about her life and career, which starred a then unknown Jennifer Lopez as Selena, catapulting Lopez into fame. In 2020, Netflix released Selena the series, starring Christian Serratos. Selena has sold around 18 million records worldwide, making her one of the best-selling female artists in Latin music. All right, with that being said, let's go back to all right. So I wonder, okay, I'm trying to see if the slideshow is coming up. Okay. I just switched to the next slide. I'm going to see if it's going to change. If not, I'm going to have to just do it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. All right. So we'll just do it the whack way. Hold on. All right, so this case study has been sponsored by Elena Lorios, and she wanted to get some insight, astrological insight into Selena because that's her favorite singer of all time. And her question was, let me just pull up her question. Because she wanted to know, she said, I was just wondering if you could make a YouTube reading on her and whether or not her tragic end could have been avoided or if this was destined. So that's a good question. I started thinking about her again because I recently came to find out that the murderer was actually eligible for parole in about 3 or more years. And I think more of her fans should gather to prevent the vicious and dangerous sociopath Yolanda Saldivar from being released. I don't believe she should be released either. I mean, I believe they be going too easy with these paroles and shit like that. So, but she's the type that seemed like she can mask really well. So who knows? All right, so let me. So here's Selena right here with. Damn, this shit is all delayed. This is Selena right here with Yolanda, and again, Yolanda. She first came into the picture because she was a huge fan of Selena, and she kept on pressuring Selena's father to allow her to create a fan club for Selena. And then Yolanda became the president of the fan club. And then later on, as Selena grew to know her and became, befriended her, Selena allowed her to manage her boutiques because Selena was also a fashion designer, and Selena opened up some boutiques. It was like a string of boutiques in around the Texas areas. And she had Yolanda managing these boutiques. Well, Yolanda started to let this power go to her head. She started power tripping. And next thing you know, she's like firing employees left and right. She's also embezzling money, like she's just robbing Selena blind and shit like that. So all of this came to a head when basically the father dismissed Yolanda because they found out that she was robbing them and she was a problem with the employees. And then Yolanda sought revenge. And from this one documentary I saw, basically she killed Selena really to get back at the father because it was the father that was really adamant about her having to stay away from Selena. But another thing I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, Elena, Selena, after this whole relationship was severed, Selena was going behind her father's back and still dealing with Yolanda. And Yolanda basically set her up once they were supposed to meet, and Yolanda was supposed to give Selena the rest of the bank records and stuff like that Yolanda was holding back. Let me know if this is the same thing y'all have heard too. Because I was watching a few documentaries and I don't want to get this mixed up, but I think that is the case. And Selena was prone to operate in secret because that's how she was with her boyfriend. But the reason why she had to operate in secret is because if you look at her chart, she got Venus ruling the fourth house in Pisces. Fourth house is dealing with her father, and that Venus in Pisces that's dealing with her having to be secretive about her relationship. So if y'all remember in the movie, or if you've seen a documentary about Selena, she started dating one of the band members, and her father forbid that. And one day they got caught kissing or something by her sister. It was either the sister or the brother. Who was it? Was it the sister or the brother that snitched? And then the father, he tried to separate them, and then they started seeing each other secretly. So the father, number one, very controlling, very possessive, that possessiveness with that Taurus on the fourth. But also that points to the father's musical influence, because the father, he was part of a singing group. So with that Venus and Pisces ruling the fourth house, you could say that the father was basically living out his dreams through Selena. And truth be told, Selena, yeah, she likes singing, but from what I was gathering from watching these documentaries, there came a time when Selena actually wanted to stop doing the singing and touring and wanted to focus on her fashion designs and her boutiques. Like, she really wanted to be a fashion designer, but she had to basically live out her father's dreams. And that's basically showing through that Venus and Pisces ruling that fourth house. Like, she was the golden child in the family. Yeah, I say poor girl too. Now, this all stems back to that seventh house Leo South Node, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. So let's get into the numerology. So her birth number 16. 16 is a number of tragedy. Let's think about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was born on the 16th, and you see what happened to her. So Selena being a 16, she's prone, or was prone, to be in a situation like this, especially if she's not being on her toes, she's not being alert. Now, 16 is good for artistic expression, it's good for singing, dancing, even acting, but it's also a number of tragedy, catastrophe. It can manifest as injury, deception, sacrifice. Throw victimization in there. Her life path numbers were 29, 11, and 2. And that 29 can produce conflicts with home, family, one's mother, but also pregnancy. And this is where it might get a little controversial, because I'm seeing certain things in her chart that might have happened in her life. But more about that in a minute. Conflicts with race, culture, and nationality. More about that in a minute. But the whole culture and nationality that can be seen through, again, she was singing Tejano music, which was traditionally sung by males. And she broke the mold, and it makes sense because she's an Aquarius rising, or she was an Aquarius rising with that Aquarius North Node in the first house. That's perfect for being somebody that breaks the mold. That's a maverick that goes against convention. So she basically lived out that Aquarius energy by being a Tejano singer. And, she was getting some backlash for that in the beginning, but she, persevered on that Saturn and Mercury and Taurus, and, ended up becoming this very famous Tejano singer. So the conflicts dealing with that, interference from third parties, that's where that Yolanda comes in. Conflicts with women, that's where Yolanda comes in. High pressure situations. I remember in that Selena movie, I wish we could watch clips of it, but YouTube's gonna give me the copyright strike. Wasn't there a part in the Selena movie where the stage collapsed? Y'all let me know if y'all remember that part. A bitty bitty bum bum. Wasn't it when she was singing that song, doing that dance, that two step, and next thing you know, that stage crash? Oh, it's the come on that floor. Yeah, and that floor caved in. No, I know that floor is flour. But yeah. So that's dealing with that 29 too. Again, high pressure situations. And the girl got trapped under the stage. Makes sense. Moonlight Orange said yes, it was going to be a human avalanche. Yeah, I remember that scene in that movie. So that points to that. So here's Selena right here, singing her heart out. She was very much a balladeer, and that points to her having Sun conjunct Mercury and Taurus. And that also points to, her being that one name singer, just being known as Selena. Even though she started off as Selena y los Dinos, it was really about Selena at the end of the day. And you could see that with Venus and Pisces in the first house ruling that fourth house. So again, she was like the savior of the family. She even said it in an interview where she was like, at first the dad owned a restaurant, and that's very Taurus on the fourth as well. Dad and Saturn and Taurus, father owning a restaurant. So dad owned the restaurant, and then he had them making extra money by singing in the restaurant. And then when the restaurant wasn't successful and they had to close that shit down, that's when they took the act on the road, and it was mainly Selena that was pulling in the crowds. So, you could kind of say with that Venus and Pisces being a slave, she was kind of like the slave to the family. Makes you kind of question why, but I have my own little theories about certain things of her life, which I'll get into in a minute. Now, her ascendant was at the 13th degree of Aquarius. That 13 reinforces the themes of Aquarius, but 13 also deals with death. Now, death can be literal, but it can also be in the figurative sense, such as drastic change. But sudden and unexpected death, that's what that 13th degree of Aquarius, death that's shocking. That's very 13th degree of Aquarius. Also, fan club theme intensified. Now, Aquarius is the sign of fans, followers. And when you got the 13th degree of Aquarius, that's fan club intensified. Being different, breaking the mold. Again, being that Tejano singer when it was frowned upon to be a woman singing Tejano music. But also, she could have been different in another way as well, which I'm going to speculate in a minute. Her ascendant was in semi-square with her moon. This could produce an unstable home life due to work-related travel. Moon ruling her sixth house. Sixth house is work. It's also dealing with your daily life. And she was saying they was just performing anywhere that they would take them, and they was just going all place to place. They practically lived on that bus, feeling different from the family. Now, of course, if you're the lead singer, you're the savior of the family, of course you're going to feel different. But again, could there have been another reason why she felt a little different from her family? The need to be generous overrides her rationality. So her moon is in Sagittarius, and that moon can make her very generous, very big hearted, very open, very giving. And that Sagittarius moon can make one prone to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Now, that Sag moon is also representing Yolanda because it's in the 11th house. More about that in a minute. Her ascendant was forming a trine with Uranus. This is attracting a lot of fans and followers. Also, her being cut from a different cloth, having these striking features, having a magnetic persona that just pulls you in. And she really did. I was watching some clips before this live stream, and I was like, she really had that star quality. Ascendant sesqui-square Pluto in Virgo, with Pluto being in the 8th house, mind you. This is where someone that works for her could be out to get her, and that's exactly what was going on because Yolanda worked for her. So that Virgo influence is dealing with people that she hires, her employees. Also, being forced to work makes her want to rebel, makes her want to separate. So again, I saw it. Oh, that's a good question. I did have his chart. Let me see real quick. So did I pull his chart? I might not have, but somebody could look up the father's birthday and let us know what sign he is. That's the one thing I totally forgot to do. But anyway, going back. So again, from what I heard, there was a point where she kind of wanted to stop singing and just focus on her fashion boutiques, her fashion designs, being micromanaged, issue with being treated differently by the mother, perhaps. And the reason why I say that is because Pluto is ruling that 10th house, which is representing the mother. So I can't remember all the details of the Selena movie, but was there an issue with the mother not wanting Selena to always be on the road and stuff? Somebody let me know. But it could have also just been, mom was overly concerned about her well being and things like that. So here's her chart again. As you can see, she's an Aries, sun at that 25th degree. Discrimination and analysis, that's what that 25 deals with. And with 25, you always have to be aware that there could be somebody that's going to do you in. So she had ascendant sextile Chiron, and that Chiron is in Aries. So that's her having sex appeal, sex symbol, the ability to hold her own, an award winning artist, at or near the top of the Billboard charts. Her ascendant was conjoined to the Aquarius North Node. That points to that fan club leader being all over her, experiencing an awakening involving her associates or one of her associates, in this case being Yolanda. Strong racial, cultural, nationality themes with that 20th degree. Now, her ascendant was running parallel to the asteroid Cassandra, and Cassandra is an asteroid that could deal with advice, but not just advice. A lot of times it deals with advice that is not taken, advice that is ignored. So, this is dealing with not following the advice of friends, associates, and also she could have had an advisor, maybe even an astrologer. But it says Quintanilla Jr. took the claim seriously. This is speaking about her father, Abraham. He told Selena to be careful and said Saldivar might not be a good influence. Selena dismissed her father's inquiries because he had often distrusted people in the past. By January 1995, Selena's fashion designer Martin Gomez, her cousin Deborah Ramirez, and clients had expressed their concerns over Saldivar's behavior and management skills. Now, I have to admit, with Selena having Mercury and Saturn in Taurus, she could be very stubborn. And then she had that Venus in Pisces, which made her prone to be secretive about stuff. So with that, it's like, her father warned her cousin warned her fashion designer warned her about Yolanda, and she still felt that she could trust Yolanda, at least with tying up the loose strings and getting those financial records. But Ellie said if her father wasn't so controlling over petty things, Selena would have listened to him. I agree, but I still blame the father. Even though she didn't listen to the father, my thing is, okay, once you know there's some crazy bitch that is robbing you blind, and y'all already know that she's like off her rocker, why would you even have Selena just going about by herself? Like, she should at least had a bodyguard. But then again, she's an Aries, so maybe she was very headstrong. Well, of course she's very headstrong. So his birthday is February 20th. Okay, he's a Pisces, which fits with that Venus in Pisces ruling her fourth house. So it makes sense. And it makes sense, like he was living vicariously through Selena. Makes a lot of sense. And wait till I tell you about this Pisces shit. With him being a Pisces, it makes perfect sense, especially being born on the 20th, what I'm about to say. But anyway, Selena, I feel like, should have had a bodyguard by then. And I think if she had a bodyguard, she would have at least had that bodyguard accompany her to that meeting with Yolanda. But it seemed like she didn't even have a bodyguard. I wouldn't be surprised if her dad was real cheap, especially because she had Saturn and Taurus. Seemed like he was like so focused on the money and almost at the expense of Selena's safety. Because my thing is, he should have been more adamant about, look, you ain't going nowhere without a bodyguard. You ain't, you ain't dealing with, I feel like he could have stressed it more. And the fact that she has a Leo South Node in the seventh house, that's pointing to karmic debt involving the father. Leo South nodes often have karmic debt involving the father. And that's why I say this is ultimately on him. This is ultimately his fault. And guess what? He's the one that basically invited Yolanda into their life. If it wasn't for him, Yolanda would have never got close to Selena because she kept on wearing him down. She kept on like needling him and kept on pressuring him, talking about, let me create this fan club for Selena and all this stuff. And finally, she wore down his will. Now, where was Andrew Tate? I gotta make a mental note of that. Where was his spidey senses? Where was his sense of protection when it came down to allowing this woman? Like, to me, he should have known something was off. The fact that she was relentless in her pursuit of Selena. That was number one. So a lot of that's coming from, well, the underlying reason with this all, that's that Leo South node in the seventh house. Again, that's pointing to who the father is dealing with. That can even deal with the father dealing with a woman. And again, in this case, Yolanda. So the North Node squaring Saturn. So this is a big issue. So again, I'm looking at that as the father being very controlling. She's not at liberty to do as she pleases. And this extends to her relationships because she got that South Node in the seventh house. So that's why she had to start sneaking behind her father's back, seeing the dude. Her attempting to liberate herself from her father's control, father having a problem with her showing a lot of skin. I remember that being an issue in the movie as well. Now, the North Node was opposing the asteroid Apollo, and Apollo could deal with where somebody is being very persistent, like they're just not giving up. So that's Yolanda not taking no for an answer when trying to persuade the father. Again, she kept coming at the father, and my thing is, where was the father's sense of protectiveness over his daughter? Wait till I get to what I speculate, Queen Dara D. Give me a minute. Now, the North Node was running parallel to Lebrun, which is a fixed star that bestows honors, riches. It can make one ambitious, psychic energy. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if Selena was dealing with a psychic or whatever. Maybe even a psychic trying to warn her. Chronic illnesses and dishonest income. So the dishonest income part could be coming from Yolanda, or definitely. North Node conjunct Castra. That's a fixed star that can manifest as destructiveness, uncontrollable temper. And again, this sounds like Yolanda, right? Malevolence. All this is dealing with Yolanda. North Node conjunct Arabic part of commerce. That's the fashion boutiques and how this fulfills her destiny to be a trendsetter, fashion trends in particular. So again, Selena's heart was really with fashion. Now you can see that with Sun conjunct Mercury and Taurus. That's a fashion designer right there, especially somebody that puts out like original fashions or that are like kind of sexy and kind of revealing and like bold in your face. And that is how she was looking right here. She had a prominent booty. That's that Sagittarius moon. But yeah, she basically played up her sexual energy, and it worked for her. All right, where am I at? A bitty bitty bum bum. So her Venus, 21 degrees Pisces in the first house. So that points to her being a Tejano singer, singing in English and Spanish with that 21st degree, dealing with multilingual, different cultures, multiculturalism, being father's chosen one or savior, again with Venus ruling that fourth house. Tendency to give people the benefit of the doubt with that 21. And also that Venus and Pisces just gave her that angelic look, like you can see in this picture right here. Very feminine look when you have Venus and Pisces in the first house. She had Venus sextile Mars. That's her becoming a singer due to her father's influence, in particular with Mars being in Capricorn. Mars is in the 12th house. opens fashion boutiques, meeting boyfriend through her musical career. Boyfriend is in the band. Venus sextiles Saturn. Again, this is the father's influence in terms of her singing career. Father was in a singing group. Father allows her to open fashion boutiques, so this was his way of appeasing her, or this was her reward for her devotion. Again, with Venus in Pisces in the first house, that's like her being very devoted to her father and her being her father's savior. Meeting partner through work. Partner is a musician. So she ended up marrying her boyfriend. What's the boyfriend's name? Damn, why I forget his name already? What's that boyfriend's name? Chris? Somebody let me know real quick. What's the boyfriend's name? Chris something. Yeah, Ellie said Chris. Siobhan said, was that really her family? Siobhan, just stop it. Just stop it. We think too much. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Whoa. I'm glad I'm not the only one that can see clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. All right. Venus opposition Pluto. Now, this is one of the worst aspects that somebody can have, especially if somebody is famous, because this is like somebody out to get your coins. Somebody's out to get your bread. They're going to stick you for your paper. So Venus opposition Pluto. Now, before we get all into that, that's her facing rejection during the early part of her career for being a female Tejano singer. Also, her being robbed, embezzlement, and again, this is by Yolanda, being stalked, but also her being oblivious to the threats to her safety and life, because that Venus in Pisces can make her very oblivious to things. Attracting haters and jealous people, being a victim of revenge. She also had Venus quincunx South Node. So the president is stealing money with that South Node being in Leo in the 7th house. When you got a Leo South Node in the 7th, you always got to be careful about giving away too much of your power to other people. And that's exactly what she did. But again, I blame the father ultimately, because it was the father that gave too much of his power over to Yolanda in the beginning, because he should have known his daughter, and he should have known that his daughter was too trusting. So this is also her attempts to keep her relationship a secret, her attempts to hide a pregnancy, especially from the father. So I wouldn't be surprised if Selena got pregnant by Chris and Abraham, the father, found out and he made Selena get an abortion. And there's other aspects that could point to this as well. And when you got a Leo South Node, there could be some karmic debt dealing with children. Challenges with running the fashion boutiques on her own due to a need to perform. Again, Abraham was very, very controlling. And with that Saturn square in the Leo South Node, that could deal with a father that forces his daughter to get rid of a baby, because, that's going to mess with her career. And with Saturn and Taurus, he's thinking about money. Like, he's very focused on money. I'm going to just put it out there. I don't like Abraham. I get a very negative vibe from him. Now, I'm not saying that he had a hand in her murder, but I'm holding him responsible ultimately. And it shows through her natal chart, especially through that Saturn square in the Leo South Node. Again, if he would have never, like, what did Whoopi Goldberg said in The Color Purple? Nah, Harpo. If you would have never had a hold on Sophia, white folks would have never got her. Like, that's how I feel like that's how it is with Abraham. If he would have never had a hold on Selena like that, and again, it was mainly because he was thinking about his bread and butter. He was thinking about his money. And instead, exchanging money for safety and security, you can look at it like that. You putting your daughter at risk. You know this bitch is crazy, but you're not taking the proper precautions to ensure that your daughter don't even come nowhere near that chick until that chick is dealt with. You know, you might have to call up some of the members of the cartel or whatever like that to go handle some business. That's how his father should have did it. I mean, her father should have handled it. I'm pretty sure he had some connections to the cartels and all that shit. Come on now. He looked like one of them dudes that's down with that. Anyway, so this could be challenges with running the fashion boutiques on her own due to a need to perform. So Venus is running parallel to Yed Posterior, and Yed Posterior is a fixed star that is also known as the man of death. Kind of again makes me think of the father because Venus is ruling that fourth house. It also manifests as evil influences, wastefulness, unseen dangers, and poisoning. And again, I'm not saying the father had a hand in the murder, but I'm saying that he was negligent in this. Venus opposition Arabic part of treachery. So this is the embezzlement theft aspect. Again, somebody that's close to Selena betrays her, is treacherous. Venus opposition Arabic part of land journeys profession. This is work related travel, causing her to neglect her fashion boutiques and other aspects of her life, like her marriage, maybe even. And I did hear that they separated. Didn't they separate prior to her death? Her and Chris? I heard that things weren't exactly really cool between the two of them before she died. Now, she had the 24th degree of Pisces on that second house cusp, and that's really good for singing. Can produce a talent for singing and earning money as a singer. Also, is good for her fashion designs as well. And with Jupiter being conjoined to Neptune and Sagittarius in the 10th, that could deal with her gaining a lot of wealth, getting a lot of money through her singing career, but also the fashion boutiques as well. So somebody that has Pisces on the second house cusp, they always got to be aware of somebody could steal money from them. And especially if you have Mercury quincunx Neptune like she did in her chart. So with this is an employee cooking the books, theft, being oblivious to what is going on, prone to operate in secret. So again, she was operating in secret. Why? Because her father was so damn controlling. So when we look at the second house, of course, we got to look at the eighth house, which is opposing the second house, because we got to see what's going on. And we got 24 degrees Virgo, and that's dealing with her employees. Now, on a positive note, that's a seamstress supplying clothes for her performances, but also the boutiques. And she did have a fashion designer, that Gomez dude. But also, when you got Virgo on the eighth house cusp, you better watch your employees. You better watch your servants around money. You know, some china or silver might come up missing. You might get robbed by one of your employees. Also, this could be challenges with fitting in, rejection. Could be the Tejano music, but could be another reason why she had challenges with fitting in. Now, one of the things I was noticing when I was looking at pictures of Selena and her family and her father, I was like, you know, Selena looked very different from the rest of her family. And some of y'all was already kind of touching on this. Siobhan, you basically touched on this too. Now, some people might look at this and be like, they got the same eyes. But not so much in my opinion. When you look at other pictures of them, you could see some stark differences. But I'll just, leave it at here for now, but moving along. And again, this brings to mind the face readings I've been doing recently on my Patreon. So I always say, you can tell a lot by looking at a person's face. And a lot of the pictures of Abraham just does not make him look like, yes, don't he have cartel vibes? Thank you, Lissy. A lot of images of Abraham just doesn't make him look very positive. So her Chiron was in the second house at the 10th degree of Aries, and that points to her being an award-winning entertainer. Conflicts over money, that result in being wounded. Someone is trying to come up through Selena, because when you got that 10th degree, somebody could always be trying to ride your coattails. Somebody could be trying to come up through your success, through your hard work. This can also manifest as an uncompromising and unreasonable father. A lot of travel, being on the road to make money, because that 10th degree is related to travel. Also going wherever the money is. So here's that Chiron in that second house. You also got that Sun in Aries in the second house. Here's Mercury and Saturn in the third. Having Saturn in the third, that's basically representing how Abraham had a lot of control over her mind. But my thing is, you got all this control over her mind, but you really wasn't protecting her like you should have. And it could be seen through Saturn squaring that Leo South Node in particular. Like he was more so about turning Selena into a workhorse, into a cash cow, which is that Saturn and Taurus, than being a protective, loving father. That's how I see him. And that's shown through that Saturn square South Node. Chiron trine Jupiter. This is her being an award-winning artist, record charting. In 2020, Billboard magazine put her in third place on their list of the greatest Latino artists of all time. She also ranks among the most influential Latin artists of all time and is credited for catapulting the Tejano genre into the mainstream market. Chiron opposition Uranus. Keep in mind that Uranus is her chart ruler. So with this opposition, and it's common in a lot of charts, be careful of who you befriend. This can be the standoff, wounding at the hands of a friend, associate, or agent, painful separations. Chiron running parallel to the star Bellatrix, that could produce loquaciousness, but also accidents and sudden dishonor. Chiron opposing the Arabic part of servants. This is one of the ones that point to her being done in, her being wounded by one of her employees, one of her servants, being shot by a servant, Yolanda in particular. So her sun at the 25th degree of Aries in the second house, that 25th degree brings a need to be very discriminating and analytical, and that includes her father. So her father, because the sun rules fathers, needs to be discriminating, not just her. So again, I look at the father as being a huge part of the problem. Lies, deception, theft, and victimization. Music, fashion. Being a trailblazer, pioneer in music, being secretive about her lover in the beginning, attracting a man who was a musician. Her father is a singer musician. So all of this manifestations of the second house placement of the sun at the 25th degree of Aries. Father is too focused on living out dreams through Selena. So again, father based, like Selena, this is why I call it the ultimate sacrifice, because Selena made the ultimate sacrifice so her father could live well, so her father could do well, so he could provide for the family, so that he could live comfortably and all that. And you see that Selena movie came out shortly after she died. So she died in 1995, and I think they said the Selena movie was released in 1997. Yeah, her dad looked mean as fuck. Again, here's another picture of him. This is where, again, I'm not seeing a strong similarity. Now, you could say, okay, well, Selena takes after her mother more so. But when you put her up against other family members, you start to really kind of say, I don't know about all that. Sun in Aries, trine Moon in Sagittarius. This was one of her blessings in terms of aspects. So that points to her being a star with the name Selena. Selena dealing with the moon. Being Selena y los Dinos with her family, and with her being a leader. Being a leader pioneer for women in Latin culture. Embracing her hot and spicy Latina persona. Having that sex appeal. Because we're talking about a fiery trine right here. Hot. Terripa, yes. Yeah. Bitty bitty bum bum. Her prominent booty. So yeah, that's another thing. I'm like, she the only one in the family that got the pumps and the bump like that. Like, come on now, what's going on here? Widely celebrated, loved, and adored. Also, this points to her elopement. So she actually eloped with Chris. And that is so Sagittarius moon. Sagittarius is a sign of elopement. And with that sun ruling the seventh house, also this sun tri-moon points to entre a mi mundo, and that peaked at number one. So the whole enter my world, that's very Sun in Aries, trine Moon in Sagittarius. And again, this trine just means that she was very loving too. She was very giving. She was very open, very trusting, all of that stuff. And that can get you into some serious trouble, especially when you got a seventh house, Leo South Node, square in Saturn. Sun conjunct Mercury in Taurus. This is a great love for music. Como la flor. That's dealing with that song because her brother wrote that song, and Mercury rules brothers, fathers, and flower. That's Taurus. So brother has some good writing talent. Now this is father's musical talent and him teaching Selena how to sing and all that. Also, this points to her beauty because Taurus placements going to put some beauty into the mix a lot of times. Fashion designer, boutiques. Father tries to control her every move though. So again, her mind is very much being controlled by her father, Abraham. So again, that's why I'm putting a lot of the issue with him or the blame with him. Look at that booty. I'm telling you, that's that Sag moon, I'm telling you. Sun trine South Node. So this is her being a trailblazer in entertainment, lead singer, a father that makes her a star, hits topping the charts, sex appeal, husband as part of the band. Also, the sun running parallel to Subra, which is a star that promotes strength, but it can also deal with plunder, basically theft, robbery, swagger, yet simple and without guile. And she definitely had some swagger, boy. Here she is right here, looking like a black Latina. Let me move on. It's like, let me stop. I'm not saying she was a black Latina for sure, but I'm just saying, like, what was mom doing? She was the youngest, and by the time you been with a man for a long time, you get a little hankering for a little something different. You know what I'm saying? She just giving off a little bit too much of that homegirl Boricua vibe. And I'm not even saying black. I'm like half Mexican, half Puerto Rican. That's what I'm saying. That's what I look like. I'm like, mom's was dipping out with a Puerto Rican Jose. Yeah. And mom had it going on. More so than Abraham. And again, yeah, that Leo South Node. Yeah. I see that tie. You see that taino up in there? I see it. I see it. And that's where that booty is coming from. It's coming from, that's that Boricua booty. I see it. Look, I'm booty patrol because I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a connoisseur of booties. It don't matter female, male. I like a nice booty. And I noticed with Latinas, their booty be more like a teardrop booty, right? A lot of black chicks, their booty be like high up. But you'll have black chicks that got the teardrop booty too. But a lot of the Latinas got the teardrop booty, and she got that look. But that's that Boricua booty. Yeah. Yes, booty patrol. What's up, Bonita? Yes. Booty patrol. But yeah, y'all see what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Okay. Spanish Harlem. That's what I'm talking about. Mom's was dipping out in Spanish Harlem. She was like, I'll be right back. Yes. All right. So more about that in a minute. So Sun square Mars. Father very controlling to the point where she can't exercise her free will. Father didn't like her boyfriend. Father forbade them to date. He even fired him from the band, y'all. So she didn't have no choice. If that's your heart, if that's your honey, you gonna sneak around. So that Venus and Pisces says it all. But the Sun square Mars is basically showing you that her father really wasn't about loving her. He was more so about controlling her and using her again as the workhorse. So her doing things behind her father's back, that's her Mars in the 12th. And when you see that Sun square Mars, that can be father versus boyfriend, father versus husband. Also, this is all work and no play. Being a victim of father's negligence. Again, going against tradition as a female Tejano singer. Father against her having a boyfriend, but this can also be her father was against her having a child. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if Selena got pregnant at one point and her father made her get an abortion. Because I believe her father was that low, where he was that desperate. Being shot in the lower shoulder. Mars rules the third house. Third house is the arms, shoulders. Sneak attack with Mars in the 12th. So this is her getting shot aspect. Mars, this is another reason why I'm so stuck on the pregnancy thing, because her Mars was running contra parallel to the asteroid Siwa, and Siwa deals with fertility, especially issues with fertility, and it could deal with birth control. And some people use abortion as a birth control method. So again, especially if we're talking about Mars. And then with Mars being in the 12th house, that could be where she was trying to hide her pregnancy. And then again, father always had a way of finding some things out. Maybe one of the siblings told one of her sisters. Mars was conjunct. This is another reason. Look, Mars conjunct Arabic part of suns. So she could have been pregnant with a little boy. And again, maybe she couldn't keep the baby. So Saturn running parallel to Hygeia, with Hygeia at the 5th degree of Leo. Leo is children. And again, Saturn is a father. So this makes me think Hygeia deals with doctors. This makes me think father could have taken Selena to an abortion doctor and made her get an abortion. And again, Saturn squaring Leo South Node. Father against her having a man and a child. Father puts a stop to the pregnancy. Watch the person who is managing the money. Selena balking at the advice of others gets her caught up. Also, with that Leo South Node in the 7th squaring Saturn, there could be an issue with her father in terms of legitimacy. Hello. Now, she has Mars trine Saturn, awards, acclaim, recognition, father's influence in her career, opening the fashion boutiques, meeting boyfriend through work, secret relationship ensues, and that's that Mars in the 12th. Saturn trine Pluto. Number one, this is the father benefiting from her death. And again, I'm not saying he had a hand in the murder, but he did benefit through her death. But this is also her designing and manufacturing clothing, licensing deals, father's influence in Selena becoming prominent. Also, this is vocal training, with that Pluto being in Virgo, Saturn in Taurus. Yolanda and other employees helping Selena run her business. Venus sextile Saturn, being a good singer due to her father's musical background, designer, fashion boutiques, beauty, good bone structure. Look at her right there. That ain't nothing but some damn Puerto Rican. No, let me stop. I know I'm going crazy with this, but nah, man, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So here's her chart right here. Yeah, she had a beautiful body. She had a beautiful face. She definitely had that it factor. Now, the Saturn's running parallel to the fixed star Aldebaran, and that can produce eloquence, high honors, integrity, popularity, courage, but it can also manifest as warmongering, agitation, danger, loss, and a violent death. Saturn, this is the one right here. This is the one where I'm like, yo, Abraham may not be Selena's father, like biological. So when I saw Saturn opposing the Arabic part of the mother, I was like, yo. And Scorpio was on the midheaven, which is dealing with the mom. So now on the benign end, could be her spending a lot of time away from the mother due to the musical career. But with Saturn opposing the Arabic part of the mother, Was mom creeping with another man who actually fathered Selena instead of Abraham? I believe it. And this could explain why Abraham wasn't that protective over Selena, because he knew that wasn't his biological. And the crazy thing about it is, I never forget in that Selena movie, in the beginning of the movie, they have it where is Selena's a child and her mom is dancing and teaching Selena how to dance. And the mom is looking all young and spicy and stuff. And then the father, who's played by Edward James Olmos, he looking all old and shit. And I was like, oh, mom still got it and stuff. And to me, I'm like, yo, that makes a lot of sense. And again, Selena was the youngest. And like I said, by the time you got how many kids? She had 4 kids already, or maybe 3 kids. She probably was tired of Abraham and his controlling ways, and she dipped out on him. And guess what? Selena got a moon in Sagittarius. That Sagittarius moon can deal with where you're multi-ethnic, you're multi-racial or multicultural. And with that moon being in Sagittarius, that can mean mom going after some other dude of another culture or country or whatever. Yeah, Siobhan says she don't look like that. I agree. Here, wait, let me pull up a picture of them all together. Look at that shit. She got kinky hair and everything. they slapped a relaxer in her hair. They was like, look, you better make it seem like, they was like, don't stay out in the sun too long. Me Merc waving that Puerto Rican flag. That's what's up. Yes. Whippa! Yes. Look at that shit. She even got the bamboo earrings on and shit. Wait, I gotta show y'all this one clip. I have to. I'm gonna risk getting a copyright strike for this because I gotta show y'all this. This is the final nail in the coffin. I'm about to show y'all. Hold on. Where we at? I was cracking up when I saw this. Oh man, where is it at? Hold on.
Attraction.
Oops, let me. I won't be able to play the sound though. Damn, where is it at? Oh, here it is. First they gonna show the sister. Wait till y'all see this shit. First they gonna show the sister, and then you gonna see Selena, and then you gonna see the culture come out. Wait till you see the culture come out with this. And I can't play the sound because I'm gonna definitely get a copyright strike. Hold on. Elena, this is one of the documentaries you sent me. Let me just move it up a little bit. She even giving Whitney Houston vibes in this next scene. Watch.
A lot.
Oops.
And what was going on.
Let me speed it up. Okay, so that's her set. Look at her. Look at her. Wait. She even got black dance. Look at her. I'm done. They even doing the hammer. I'm done. I know that's a perk. But yeah, I'm just playing with y'all. But no, for real, there might be some truth to what I'm saying. Because when I started to look at Selena's chart, honest to God, before I even saw Saturn opposing the Arabic part of the mother, when I started seeing certain aspects and just looking at pictures of Selena and her father, I was like, wait a minute, something's off. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not her biological father. And again, it would make perfect sense that he wasn't as protective over her as he should have been. And maybe he's had this issue her whole life because he realized he knows that's not his daughter. And trust and believe, this shit happens more often than you think, where a man is married to a woman, she ends up stepping out on him, she gets pregnant, and then he ends up taking care of that child just like it's his own. So don't think that this shit don't happen, because it does happen a lot more than what you think. That's why these men out here, just because you got a wife, don't mean that those babies are really yours. Unless that baby really come out looking like you. I'm just saying, you can never be sure. Marriage don't mean a damn thing sometimes. Yeah, better call Mari. All right, so now that we got that out the way, because I was just itching to get this out, because I was like, oh my God, I see it. So again, here's her chart again. And even having that 12th house Mars in Capricorn. Remember how I said, if y'all remember when I did that Mars and Capricorn live stream, I was like, Mars and Capricorn, usually there's some conflict with the father. And with it being in the 12th house, that could mean either there's a secret involving your father, or it can mean your father's unknown, or it can mean you're confused about who your father is. And then that moon square in Pluto, that could be mom dipping out. That could be mom, you know, she got to keep some shit under wraps with that moon square Pluto. And again, that can mean that maybe she never felt like she fit fully into her family with the moon squaring Pluto, with Pluto being in Virgo, because Virgo is about fitting in. And again, so yeah, I would not be surprised. And she even has Mars quincunx Leo South Node. I would not be surprised. So moving on. So she had 2 yods in her chart, and these yods are what got her caught up with this whole Yolanda situation. So one of the yods consists of her sun in Aries. The sun is making a quincunx with her Scorpio midheaven. The Scorpio midheaven is making a sextile with Pluto, and then Pluto's making a quincunx with her sun. So the yod, also known as the finger of fate or the finger of God, can produce situations that involve third parties, interference, that involves where things start off well, but then they end up blowing up in your face. So that sun quincunx Pluto, again, the father being implicated in the negligence where that led to Selena losing her life, with that son being involved in this yacht. Because again, Yolanda kept hounding the father until he gave in. He did not have to give in to the father, but see, Yolanda probably got into his ear about the money that could be made through this fan club, and he probably liked what she was basically proposing. He liked the way it sounded on paper, and he finally relented. So this is also an employee that sets out to get revenge because Pluto's in Virgo, and again, Virgo being employees. And Yolanda did say that her anger was really directed toward Selena's father. And wait a minute, you said irrational kiss. You said, Rob, when you did my birth chart, you pointed that out about my father, but you said in the nicest way, just in case I didn't know. Oh man, of course I don't remember, but thanks for reminding me. Damn, I be trying to say things in the most delicate way, but sometimes it's just you just can't say certain things delicately. So in December 1994, the boutiques began to suffer after the number of staff for both stores had decreased. So what I'm reading right here is dealing with this yacht in particular. According to staff members, Saldivar often dismissed employees she disliked. Employees at the stores regularly complained about Saldivar's behavior to Selena, who dismissed the claims, believing Saldivar would not negatively impose erratic decisions on Selena's fashion venture. According to Quintanilla Jr., that's the father, the staff later turned their attention to him and began informing him about Saldivar's behavior. So again, the father was still in control of everything. So he basically, it was really on him to make sure that Selena was nowhere near Yolanda once shit hit the fan. Also with this yacht, Quintanilla Jr., took the claim seriously. He told Selena to be careful and said Saldivar might not be a good influence. Selena dismissed her father's inquiries because he had often distrusted people in the past. And again, this is where Selena is at fault, because that Leo South Node can make one naive, can make one prone to just trust people, especially people that flatter them and things like that, as you'll see here. So the Leo South Node in Selena's seventh house, this makes her prone to be naive. Also, this shows that her father is part of her karmic debt. Fame is part of her karmic debt. And remember, Tupac had a Leo South Node as well. Who else? It's another star that got murdered that had a Leo South Node. I forgot. Love and children are part of her karmic debt. Prone to give too much of her power and authority over to others. So the Leo South Node trine Sun, I think I already went over the trine Sun, but anyway, possessing star quality, making a name for herself in entertainment, father's influence in becoming a star, meeting husband who was in the band, religious extremism. I don't think that's supposed to be in there. That religious extremism. That's probably from the previous one. Scratch that. But father's actions trigger remittance of karmic debt. So again, father's actions, with Saturn being in Taurus, father was more so concerned about how much money could be made instead of protecting Selena. So there's another yod dealing with the Leo South Node, forming a quincunx with Venus and Pisces. Venus is in sextile with Mars in Capricorn, and then Mars is forming a quincunx with the Leo South Node. So I don't think I can outline it, but here's the South Node, and these green dotted lines are the quincunxes. Here's Mars and Venus up here. The other yod was between Pluto and that midheaven, with the sun being that focal point. So having two yods in your chart like that, you're bound to get caught up in some crazy shit like she did. So with this yod, this is how this played out. So 8 months later, Selena signed Saldivar as her registered agent in San Antonio, Texas, basically giving over even more of her power to Yolanda. After the agreement, Saldivar moved from San Antonio, Texas to Corpus Christi to become closer to Selena. So the sextile is what created that whole agent partnership. So her making Yolanda the agent. But then where it backfires is the quincunxes that are being formed with that Leo South Node. So her moon is at the 28th degree of Sagittarius. That 28th degree is a big part of the reason why she got caught up in this situation, because that 28th degree can make a person way too trusting, especially when we're talking about the moon at the 28th degree of Sagittarius. That's where it's like, I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I want to give everybody a fair chance. I don't want to believe that this person could do me dirty. And that caused her to end up getting caught up with this Yolanda situation. Now, that 28th degree can bring fame and stardom, but again, it can also result in being too trusting. And that, again, to reinforce what I was speculating about the father situation, that moon at the 28th degree of Sagittarius, just moon in Sagittarius period, can be multiculturalism. But when you dissect that 28, 2 plus 8, that could be two fathers. But 2 and 8 could also be the race of the father being a major theme in her life. Also, this is much travel. And with that moon being in the 11th house, Yolanda Saldivar, that's representing her as a friend, but also the fan club creator. And the moon in Sagittarius can deal with a fat woman who's looking for a free ride at Selena's expense. When we're talking about the 28th degree, mind you. It can also play out as a greedy woman who has a huge sense of entitlement, with that moon being in the 11th house. And again, the moon's ruling the 6th house, which is showing Yolanda working for Selena.
So 8 months later, Selena signed Saldivar as her registered agent. Again, that's that yacht. So the moon in Sagittarius squaring Pluto and Virgo. This is Selena lacking freedom due to working all the time. Also, betrayal that took place. Be careful of who you hire if you have this aspect in your chart, namely because Pluto is in Virgo. Being murdered by employee, a relentless woman seeking revenge, being around people or person who is a hater, manipulator, and abuser. That moon square Pluto is no joke. When you got moon square Pluto in your chart, it really helps to avoid most people. Because I got moon square Pluto. And I know if I would have continued to be like this social butterfly that I was like in my teens and 20s, I'd be dead already. Because that moon square Pluto will bring some negative people into your life. It will bring some haters into your life. It can result in getting robbed, mugged, stabbed, um, abused, used. Oh my God, it could be horrible. Siobhan, you know what I'm talking about. Yep. So her having that moon square Pluto, she should have always been on guard. Always have had some type of protection on her too, and to really keep her circle of people very close, and to really not trust people. You know, some people have trust issues for a good reason. I have trust issues. I used to didn't have trust issues until that moon square Pluto in my chart basically taught me some hard lessons about how not to be so trusting. So yeah, I had to learn the hard way. So sometimes people that have trust issues it's for a good reason. So Selena should have had trust issues, but she didn't. And that's because she had moon at that 28th degree of Sagittarius. And she was stubborn with that Mercury in Taurus, Saturn in Taurus. And Mercury in Taurus can deal with where you're taking people at face value. You believe that because this person is coming with a smile on their face and they got a three-piece suit on and a briefcase, you believe that they're trustworthy and shit. Or you believe because they come bearing gifts and compliments and shit that there's somebody that could be trusted. So she had some things working against her when it came to trusting people. So here's Selena and her sister. I heard her and her sister really didn't get along either, but I don't know if that's true. So the moon was conjoined to the fixed star Acumen, and Acumen affects the eyesight. Now, in some cases, it could just mean you need glasses or you need contact lenses. In some cases, it could be blindness in one or both eyes. But it can also manifest as spiritual blindness, and that's what Selena was suffering from. She lacked spiritual discernment, and with that moon square Pluto, that could cause her to lack spiritual discernment as well, especially when somebody is able to wear her down with their eagerness to help her. Also, this can produce a morbid outlook, sharp mind, religious extremism. The moon was conjoined to Sinestra. And remember, the moon is also representing Yolanda. So this aspect in particular is basically painting a good picture of who Yolanda is. So Sinestra is a star that can result in being immoral, mean, slovenly, and she looks slovenly now. We're about to get into her pictures and her chart. Depraved. She was depraved or is depraved. Lustful. She could have been lusting after Selena. I wouldn't be surprised. Wanton, infamous, scandalous. That woman is scandalous. Addicted to sorcery and poisoning. She probably tried to poison Selena or tried to think about it, but maybe that didn't work out. But that's Yolanda for sure. That fixed star on Selena's moon, that describes Yolanda to a T. And Yolanda was probably trying to do spells on Selena and all this type of stuff. And the moon is conjoined to the Arabic part of discord. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So this is representing discord with Yolanda and perhaps at times with mother and family. Here's her chart again. So I've pretty much covered most of the, major things in her chart. So now let's get into this Yolanda situation. Yeah. Now Yolanda, she's prone to obsession because she has Moon conjunct Pluto, and with it being in Virgo, she just has this natural tendency to want to help people. But with the Moon being conjoined to Pluto, there could be ulterior motives to her wanting to help somebody. Like when you got Moon conjunct Pluto, and forgive me if anybody got this, but some people with Moon conjunct Pluto, they're parasitic. And that's exactly what she was. She was a parasite, or she is a parasite. And she tried to latch on to Selena and suck the life out of her and get whatever she could out of her. She tried to siphon her power and all that type of stuff. Now, we're also dealing with a woman that can be insanely jealous, that could be very vengeful and vindictive with that Moon conjunct Pluto, and that will sit there and plan her revenge plot. She also had a Virgo North Node, and she was a Virgo Sun. I keep saying was like she's dead, but she's still alive, unfortunately. They should have gave that bitch the chair. Now she got Pisces South Node, and that's the underlying reason why she's so crazy. Especially when you take into account that her Mercury in Libra is forming a quincunx with that Pisces South Node. So the Pisces South Node can make her just get lost in fantasy, be all attracted to glitz and glamour, to want to be somebody seen as glamorous, to get totally immersed in the life of somebody else, to basically become, try to be somebody's savior or be like a martyr or somebody. And I guess she thought she could be Selena's savior or something in terms of like the fan club, to be totally delusional, to have addictions, and also that points to imprisonment. So with that South Node being at the 14th degree of Pisces, I wouldn't be surprised if she's coming from a past life of being a prisoner, because that 14 is very much associated with having to do a bid. And I'm talking about like a 10-year bid, because that 14 could deal with challenges with movement, and it could be in the literal sense where you can't move around freely because you're locked down. So she's coming from like a past life of being a criminal and being locked down probably all her life in a past life, which is why in this lifetime, when she had some freedom, she didn't know how to act. And when she was given a little power, she lost her damn mind. She got that Mars at the 29th degree of Gemini, and that can create conflict within like a circle of people. Again, interference from third parties. In her case, she's seeing the father as interfering in terms of her relationship with Selena once her father broke things off. And that Mars and Gemini can make her quite two-faced, duplicitous. She got Mars opposition Jupiter. That's basically her being totally outlandish, taking things way too far. And when she's just on a train of thought, she just runs with it. That's why she basically went to the gun shop, purchased the gun, then changed her mind and was like, I'm not going to do it. And then when she saw that she couldn't make amends with Selena, then she went and got the gun again, going too far with it. Sun, quincunx, Chiron, and Aquarius, that could deal with her wanting to create this fan club. But see, no offense to y'all Virgos, but Virgo is just not a sign that's built for leadership. Virgo will often fuck shit up when put in leadership positions. So she was put in a leadership position, creating this fan club, but because of that Sun in Virgo, she became too neurotic about it, and she became too integrated into the life of Selena, so that when the breakup happened, when the father severed ties, she lost it. Has anybody gone through a breakup with a Virgo? They're some of the worst people to break up with. They have a hard time letting you go. They will keep coming back and back. They will try to make amends and all this type of stuff. It don't matter how bad they treated you. And the reason for that is because of the word integration. Virgo will become fully integrated in a person's life. So when that relationship is over, it's like you've taken that person's life from them because you became such an integral part of their life, their existence, that they feel like they can't live without you. And they really go through withdrawal symptoms. So, yeah, she went through that breakup craziness that Virgos be going through, and she lost her damn mind. Then she got Mercury in Libra, where and Venus in Libra, but with the Mercury in Libra in particular, it's like she feel like she's nothing without latching on to somebody. Then she got Mercury square Saturn, which can make her just very mean. It can cause her to be, cruel. And that points to the issue she had with the father as well, with that Saturn being in Capricorn. And that just shows that she don't know how to treat people. Again, being mean, being cruel, and how she was when she was managing those stores. Just a total fuck up. All right. Now let's get into this synastry. But here is Selena with her family. Again, Abraham. Yeah, mom look like she ain't feeling dad. Is that the mom right there? All right, so here's a bi-wheel of Selena and Yolanda's chart. Lissy said my sister still hasn't spoke to. I can't wait to read the replay chat because I haven't been able to read what y'all are saying really because I gotta hurry up and get this done. I got a class to teach in a little bit more than an hour. All right, so Selena's chart's on the inside. Yolanda is on the outside. And just look at the comparison. I mean, I'm just saying. Yolanda looked like somebody that would take a bite out of you. Don't she look like she would take a bite out of you? She got like a bulldog type of look. And that she would even snarl at you like, Virgo does rule dogs. She got that dog, like, yeah. I'm just like, you can read faces again. And seeing that little bulldog coming at me, I would have immediately backed off like, nah, I'm cool. I don't need a fan club. I'm cool. She looked like one of them little French bulldogs. Yes, she does. All right, here's the synastry. So, Yolanda's Uranus conjoined to Selena's South Node. So here's your question, Elena. You said, was Selena's murder destined? This is showing that this was destined because they got karmic ties from a past life. Yolanda's Uranus is representing the fandom, the fan club, and Selena's South Node, that's her fame. And that's basically her father too. So again, remember, Yolanda went through the father to get at Selena and create this fan club. Now, they could have been friends in a past life that had a falling out, and maybe there's some past life beats. And so a friend in a past life, and now you're a humble fan in this current life. Can you imagine the jealousy? Can you imagine the resentment? If we're talking about two souls that were peers in a past life and were friends in a past life, but then in this current lifetime, who was your friend is now somebody that you see as a star, somebody that is way above you, and you're this lowly fan. Can you imagine the resentment? And when you got Moon conjunct Pluto, yeah, you could be carrying some baggage from past life shit. You could be holding on to some shit. A lot of times with Moon conjunct Pluto, you could be having past life recall and not even realize it. And a lot of times you are going to get these repeat of relationships from your past life, like soulmates just coming into your life. Now, Yolanda's sun was conjoined to Selena's Pluto. This was one of the main issues. And especially because this conjunction's in Selena's 8th house. So this is Yolanda being obsessed with Selena, could also have been jealous of her. Yolanda's moon and Pluto squaring Selena's Jupiter and Neptune. Yolanda robbing Selena blind, with Jupiter and Neptune ruling Selena's 2nd house. That's her money. Yolanda betraying Selena's trust in her. Yolanda's Mercury conjunct Selena's Uranus and Libra. Yolanda's idea to start the fan club. becomes an obsession with the 8th house placement. Yolanda's Mercury opposing Selena's Chiron. I mean, they had some like horrible synastry aspects, but it just points to what happened. Yolanda's Mercury opposing Selena's Chiron. Selena made Yolanda a registered agent. So that's her making Yolanda the registered agent, which was the fatal flaw, because that gave Yolanda too much power. And that points to Yolanda's strategic attack. Yolanda being indecisive about shooting Selena. So again, Yolanda goes to the gun shop. She purchases a gun and then returns the gun, or decides not to shoot Selena at the moment, but then ends up going back and purchasing another gun. Or she must have threw the first gun away or something like that. Yolanda's Venus opposing Selena's Sun. Yolanda being made registered agent. So that's another aspect that's dealing with her being made her agent. But also Selena requesting the financial records, resulting in the standoff and the shooting. Because when you have oppositions like that, that could actually be a standoff with somebody. Look at this bitch. Now, isn't this how this is after she murdered Selena, right? And she trying to act like she's all, she, what's the word? Why can't I think of the word right now? It begins with an F. Well, I'll just say she feels sorry. Oh, remorseful. It begins with an R. She was trying to act like she was all remorseful. Look at that fucking look. This bitch is evil. Little bulldog. See, I'm glad I wasn't locked up I've never been locked up, but if I was, I'm glad I wasn't locked up in the prison that she got in. Because as soon as I seen her, I would have snatched her wig back. Like, for real. I would have got a few years added on just because of that smirk right there. If she would have came in with that smirk on her face, yeah, I'm just like, come on now. That's some evil ass shit. Ellie said, I'm a firm believer that you can judge people by their ugliness. Hello. For real. Sometimes you really can. You know how they be like, cleanliness is next to godliness? Maybe you could say the same thing. No, you can't. Because there's plenty of beautiful people that are evil as hell. But why do like the most evilest people up at the top, they do tend to be ugly as shit? The Golden House said that face don't even look real. It doesn't. She looked like a China pig, don't she? You ever see, like, back in the 70s and 80s, I noticed this was quite common in some people's houses. A lot of Latinos had like the China pigs, and maybe people down south had them too. You know what I'm saying? Them big ass ornate pigs, and we would just be sitting on a coffee table. She got that China pig face. Yeah. She also kind of looked like Porky Pig. Yibbity. That's all, folks. She kind of got that look too. Mm-hmm. All right, so Yolanda's Mars squaring Selena's Pluto. This right here is the murder aspect. So this is note to keep y'all take note of it. Yeah, Petunia Pig. She does got that Petunia look. She ain't no Miss Piggy, because Miss Piggy had looks. Y'all gotta admit, Miss Piggy had looks. You know, that nose was a big honker. But Miss Piggy, she had looks. She had swagger, and she had a little sex appeal. That bitch is Petunia. Yeah. Kermit would not have been checking for that hoe, for real. But anyway, what was I saying? So take note, people. If you get with somebody and your Mars is squaring their Pluto, or your Pluto squaring their Mars, that's one of the worst aspects to have for synastry. Nacho Lover said Miss Piggy was serving. Miss Piggy was all dialed up. She had the eyelashes and shit. She had the purple eyeshadow and shit. She had the fly ass wig, purple gloves and shit. Some men are attracted to a Miss Piggy, but yeah, Petunia, nah. But yeah, you gotta be careful if that Mars square Pluto shows up in a synastry, because somebody might get killed. So this is the murder aspect, but also Selena's employees coming back and complaining about Yolanda's treatment of them. Selena severing ties results in Yolanda going nuts, goes to purchase a gun. So that Pluto is basically Selena canceling Yolanda, and that triggered a violent response from Yolanda. Yolanda's Mars opposing Selena's moon. Yolanda shooting, then chasing Selena in the parking lot. This happened at a hotel. Selena being too trusting with Yolanda, especially with managing the boutiques. But that Mars opposition moon, that's that incident where Yolanda shoots her and then Selena takes off running. Yolanda's Mars sesqui square Selena's ascendant. Again, this is dealing with Yolanda shooting Selena. And in this case, this is showing that an artery was severed because she's an Aquarius rising. Aquarius rules the arteries. So this is showing the artery being severed. Yolanda's Mars, quincunx Selena's midheaven and Neptune. Yolanda's mismanagement of Selena's boutiques. Theft, double dealing, with Neptune ruling Selena's second house. She looked like, remember, see, some of y'all old heads like me, y'all remember that show Fantasy Island? Don't she kind of look like Tattoo too? Like that could be like Tattoo's sister. The plane, boss, the plane. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Remember that show? Some of them episodes on Fantasy Island used to scare me. But yeah, some of y'all remember, some of y'all that are around my age or older, y'all remember Fantasy Island. She kind of got that tattoo look. The plane, boss, the plane. See, like she would talk like this, the plane. So Yolanda's Saturn square Selena's Uranus. A challenge. Oops. Oh shoot. I'm losing my battery power. Hold on. Oh no, I'm gonna lose track of the chat. Hold on. Let me switch this real quick. All right. Hold on. Okay. So Yolanda's Saturn square Selena's Uranus. I forgot to make a note about this, but this could just deal with the disruption and the separation. So Selena severing ties with Yolanda, and then you know what ensues. Yolanda's Uranus and Leo square Selena, Saturn, and Taurus. Yolanda wearing down Selena's father with Selena, Saturn, and Taurus representing her father. Yolanda having a sense of entitlement to Selena's money. Yolanda's Uranus, quincunx Selena's Venus. Yolanda developing a sense of entitlement to Selena's money. Yolanda's Neptune opposing Selena's Mercury. This is Yolanda luring Selena into her death trap. Yolanda stealing money and withholding the books. And did you know after Yolanda shot Selena and Selena goes running, she called Selena a bitch? And then she tries to turn around and say, oh, she didn't really mean to shoot Selena. She wanted to shoot herself. Well, then why would you call her a bitch then after you shot her? This was definitely on some personal vendetta shit because she feels like shit about her own life. And then when Selena pulled away, she felt like her life was over. Yolanda's Virgo North Node, quincunx Selena ascendant. So this is dealing with a lack of separation of duties. Again, she gave Yolanda too much power. And this enabled Yolanda to get away with her thieving ways. Lord have mercy. I mean, that shit, you could tell this is a troubled soul. But again, this is not somebody that's so troubled that they don't know what they're doing. This is somebody that's come back from the past life and they got beef. But it's not like she was conscious of that. So Yolanda is a Virgo, Jacqueline. It's not like she's conscious of this beef, but her soul is. Her soul is aching. Her soul is in turmoil, seeing her friend from a past life becoming the star, and she felt left behind. When you have Moon conjunct Pluto, if you don't have people in your life really boosting your sense of self-worth and your significance, then you're liable to feel like shit. And that can happen with different types of Pluto contacts. Sun conjunct Pluto, Moon conjunct Pluto. So with her, it's like if she don't have somebody to latch on to, she's liable to feel like shit. And especially since we're talking about Virgo energy. But at the same time, I don't feel sorry for her because she didn't have to go that far and kill Selena like that. But when you got Moon conjunct Pluto, you're prone to obsessive compulsive behavior. And that's exactly what happened. She was so obsessed and she allowed the hatred and the anger and the vengeful tendencies to overtake her. And next thing you know, she wants to take Selena out because she couldn't imagine continuing on with her life knowing that she's not a part of Selena and Selena's camp anymore. It's as simple as that. But again, I blame the father for not protecting Selena like he should have. All right, just a little bit more and then I'm going to close out. So a little bit more about the synastry. Yolanda's Jupiter squaring Selena's Venus. This is Yolanda helping herself to Selena's money. Yolanda's Jupiter squares Selena's Pluto. Yolanda's greediness and overbearing nature arouses Selena's suspicions. Selena puts a stop to Yolanda's gravy train. And again, this triggers, you can see this Jupiter square Pluto with Yolanda's sense of justice. Her having this vigilante justice, mind you, because her Jupiter's in Sagittarius, is being triggered by Selena severing ties. Now she wants justice. Yolanda's Neptune squares Selena's ascendant. Selena being a victim of Yolanda's thieving and deceiving nature. And it's through that square that she continued to trust Yolanda. Yolanda's Uranus quincunx Selena's Mars. Yolanda goes through the father to gain Selena's trust, wears down the father's will. Yolanda's Chiron quincunx Selena's Pluto. Selena trying to break things off in a roundabout way. Yolanda wounds Selena, resulting in her death. Yolanda Chiron squares Selena's Saturn. Selena still deals with Yolanda behind her father's back. Yolanda wounds Selena to get back at her father. So here's Selena again. And again, Selena's main issue was she was just too trusting. And she gave that woman the benefit of the doubt. And in the documentary, one of the documentaries I watched, that's one of the first things this guy said. He was like, she was way too trusting. And that's that moon at the 28th degree of Sagittarius. And that Leo South Node too can make somebody want to come across as always likable. And that's not always possible. Not everybody's going to like you. So sometimes you're going to have to chop heads. And I know her having to chop Yolanda's head figuratively, that was hard for Selena to do, especially because Selena developed what she thought was a positive, close relationship with her. I mean, she entrusted this woman with her stores. So, transits. So, Selena was killed on March 31st, 1995. It happened around 11:48 a.m. in Corpus Christi, Texas, in a hotel. And again, once Yolanda shot Selena started to run. And I believe Selena passed out in the hotel lobby. And she was basically running for her life, asking for help. So one of the main transits that was pointing to that was Mars opposing ascendant. So transiting Mars was in Leo and it was opposing Selena's ascendant directly. I mean, exact. So Mars was at the 14th degree of Leo. And remember, I said that 13. 13 deals with death. So this was like the death situation, her being killed, shot to death. So this is pointing to a standoff, threat, attack, being shot at, being chased, being pursued. Transiting Neptune and Capricorn was squaring her sun. With this is you facing your fears. So Selena was probably fearful dealing with Yolanda, but because she's an Aries too, she probably shrugged it off and she probably said, you know what, I'm gonna be all right. You know how Aries tries to play the tough role, and it could be to their detriment at times. Being in a vulnerable position, relinquishment of control, a circumstance that defies logic. I know when she got shot, she was even like, she was incredulous. She was probably couldn't believe what was happening. An unbelievable occurrence, being deceived, detecting lies or insincerity. So this transit was in effect when they first found out that Yolanda was robbing them blind, and then it carried on into the whole situation leading up to her death. Transiting Chiron and Virgo opposing her Venus, a standoff with a disgruntled employee, a sneak attack, Selena attempting to get financial records, transiting Sun opposing Uranus, becoming aware of someone's ulterior motives, attempting to reason with an irrational person. Your rational or nonchalant approach is met with hostility. A threat to the natural order of things is present. Some of this I've taken from my book on transits, which hopefully I'll be able to finish before this year is out. Things can quickly get out of hand when the sun is opposing Uranus. Attempting to de escalate a situation, and in this case, it was to no avail. Being caught off guard, being taken by surprise, being shocked at someone's actions. This could be a face off. Transiting Mercury was opposing her Pluto. This is Selena's suspicions being aroused. So the weird thing was, leading up to this murder, Yolanda lied and said that she got raped in Mexico. And she asked Selena, this was the lure. She asked Selena to take her to the hospital. And while they were at the hospital, Selena confided to the nurses that she thought that Yolanda was lying about the rape, which Yolanda was. So with transiting Mercury opposition Pluto, that's her suspicions being aroused. Also, her trying to uncover pertinent information, trying to get those records, those financial statements from Yolanda, but also her perceiving a threat. So again, I believe Selena knew that she was putting herself at risk, but again, she wanted to give Yolanda the benefit of the doubt. But I believe she could feel it, especially probably once she was at that hospital and saw how Yolanda was acting. A feeling of dread, a need to run for cover, being in a state of panic. Also, transiting Chiron and Virgo was forming a trine with Saturn and Venus. So that could have been a project that's nearing completion or in the works that she could have been working on at the time of her death. And this can also deal with her father receiving a lot of help and assistance through the death process. Also, we could talk about some of the progressions that she had going on when she was murdered. So her progressed moon was at the 17th degree of Scorpio. You know, Scorpio deals with death. 17 degrees that can deal with being high profile death and where you become immortalized. The progressed ascendant was at the 16th degree of Pisces, semi-square per Mercury. This is her discovering theft around that time. Yolanda not turning over the books. And again, you know what I say about that 16? Her progressed Venus was in Aries and it was squaring her Mars. That's her being shot by a woman. Solar arc Jupiter conjoined to the moon, 28 degrees Sagittarius. This made her even more too forgiving and trusting. Solar arc Mars conjoined to the ascendant, 13 degrees Aquarius. This activated the depth of that 13th degree. And it's showing that she was shot and again bleeding out from the artery, which led to her death. Solar arc Virgo South Node, quincunx ascendant, 13 degrees again, her being done in by an employee. Solar arc Pluto in Libra, square Mars in Capricorn. This is a death solar arc direction, in this case, murder, and also where she was oblivious to the threat because her Mars was in the 12th house. And again, the father is being implicated with that Mars in Capricorn. Solar arc Pluto trine ascendant. This is her death having a major impact on her fans, and also this could point to the funeral service and the vigils and all that. Solar arc midheaven in Sagittarius, squaring Venus, her being too forgiving of someone who cannot be trusted. Selena revealing the truth at the hospital to the nurses. Solar arc Neptune trine Sun, outpouring of sympathy, the vigils, the prayers, her basically becoming an icon, and the Selena movie that resulted with the father benefiting from that movie. Here's Selena and Chris, and yeah, so again, she met with a tragic end. And this story is so sad to me because she was only 23 when she got murdered, and it was so unnecessary. But actually it was necessary, because to answer your question again, Elena, this was destined to happen. This was part of her karmic debt. This was part of some past life beef that had to be settled in this current lifetime. But I really feel like this was more so for the father's karma than Selena, because I really believe sometimes people will live out their karma through the death of their loved ones. Yeah, she was only 23 when this happened, so her life was cut very, very short, which is just very sad. Now, before I let y'all go, let me just promote Ephemeris real quick, which I haven't done in a minute. But if anybody would like a necklace from Ephemeris, let me find the PowerPoint. You could get 10% off by putting in the coupon code. Here it is right here. And I'll put the coupon code in the description section of this video after I get done, what you call it, finishing the video up or whatever. But Siobhan has one and she loves hers. I love mine. It's basically where you could get a customized natal chart necklace or bracelet by ephemeris.com, and it's going to detail your actual natal chart. And you have your choice of choosing what zodiacal system to use, what house system. You could choose the finish, whether you want the silver or you could choose gold. They even have a rose gold option if you want it engraved on the back. Like I have mine. My engraved says the realist astrologer. Then you get 3 reports. You get a natal chart reading, downloadable report. You get a forecast that's basically a year long. And then you get a Saturn cycles reading, which I think is a real treat. So go to ephemeris.com. And actually, I'm going to be hopefully taking part in another affiliate marketing program with Solar Fire Gold. But more about that in a minute. I got to reach out to them because they reached out to me about an affiliate program, and I stand by Solar Fire Gold because they have some of the best astrology software around. So stay tuned for, hopefully I'll be able to provide y'all with a coupon code for that. I've made a lot of money for Astrological, which produces Solar Fire Gold, because I always tell my students about Solar Fire Gold, which is that software that I use. But anyway, consider getting yourself a necklace, or get your bae a necklace, or your child or whoever. I think it's a wonderful gift. I still got to get a necklace for my girls. Um, I just got to get off my rusty dusty and put in their information on the website and all that stuff. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed this astrological case study. If you would like me to do a case study on somebody famous or infamous, or again, it could be somebody that you know personally, but their life has to be interesting. There has to be some like dirt on them or something for me to even want to be interested in doing it. But what I'm doing now is a sponsorship program. So you can sponsor an astrological case study video by paying $45, or you can pay more if you're feeling extra generous. And I will do a detailed case study just like I did for Elena with the Selena case study. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all found it insightful and enlightening. I'll be back very soon with a live stream for Leo season. I didn't forget about y'all Cancers, and I still got a little bit of time because um, Venus is still in Cancer. So I could still talk about Cancer, which I got another case study that I've been dying to do for this Cancer woman. Unfortunately, her Venus is not in Cancer, but she's a Cancer sun. And yeah, wait till I do this case study. Y'all gonna love this one. But I'll be back soon with that. And then I wanted to do something else as well, but I can't think of it offhand. But hopefully, I'll be able to go live either this Thursday or this Friday. So stay tuned for that. Oh, yeah, Hunter Biden. He is a mess. He is a hot mess. There's been a lot going on recently, too. I can't think of it offhand, though. You said snooze to Cancers. I mean, Cancer season. I mean, I was really hibernating, but that's because I had a lot of work to do and stuff. But yeah, I did want to go live and talk about Cancer and stuff because I got a lot to say about that sign. Y'all Cancer, y'all something else. That's all I'm gonna say. My teenage love was a Cancer. Teenage love, a teenage love, and he was a Cancer for real. He was a he was a bad boy too. That's all I ever attracted. The bad boys, the broken, the wounded ones. Mm-mm-mm. Oh yeah, the pastor that got robbed. I'm starting to think that was set up. That pastor, he got right down on the ground like he knew that, this is what he was supposed to do. Wait a minute, what's going on with 6 years? Let's see. You said the abuse. You said my baby dad is a Cancer. He is sick. Yeah. Some of y'all Cancers got some shit with y'all. Tyrell said my dad's a Cancer, sun in South Node as an Aries. We clash. Yup, I'm not surprised. Queen Dara D, the pastor cussed out someone on IG Live. And the pastor, he got a lot of money. He drives a Rolls Royce. So I don't feel sorry for him. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a setup, like if that shit was staged because he's trying to get more money out of his congregation. These preachers are some of the worst people. They always say the devil's favorite hiding place is the church. Hey, Amira. You said, bro had $1 million in jewelry. Damn, I didn't know he had all that on him. He kind of needed to be robbed. People are starving. See, the fact that he had all that jewelry on him makes me really think that that shit was staged. And again, this is a way to try to come up even more off of the backs of those poor people in his congregation. This is damn shame. Let's take a look at that video real quick. I ain't ready to let y'all go yet. Hold on. Because y'all gonna see what I mean when I say I feel like this was staged. So let me see. Pastor gets robbed. It says Bishop goes off on his church. I'm just trying to find the one where he gets robbed. Y'all hear about what's that dude's from Sweet Pies? The co-defendants turned on his ass. All right, here we go. Tim Norman, that's his name. Big old hit, Tim Norman. Hips don't lie. All right, where are we at? Okay, here it is. New York pastor gets robbed, 400,000. Look, it looked like he acted in one of them Nigerian films. Hold on. Look, we want the clip. We don't need to see you. He ain't even want to play. Okay, here it is.
The ground. I feel bad for Pastor. I said, man, that ain't right. Look at this brother out here trying to do his thing, preach the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, and he got brothers in there robbing and stealing and
Dude
trying to
is
kill him.
naive.
It didn't make any sense, but you know what I'm saying.
Come on, this shit happened too calmly. Look at the dude in the back. I'm not buying it. These pastors will try anything. Exactly. Look at the man in the corner though. He didn't drop to the floor. Like, yeah, he looking like he knew this was gonna happen. He said state property 3. I was a whole 600,000 off, but still. Y'all, they're probably members of the church. They're probably his nephews and shit. That's the pastor's homeboy. What else has been happening in the news lately? I haven't really been keeping up. Need the insurance money up. Oh yeah, he gonna clean up with that insurance money. The Scarred Owl said TD Jakes saying black women are mean and Kim Burrell. So wait a minute, hey Tara? Wasn't TD Jakes also involved in some issue with one of his daughters and the daughter stole the baby or something like that? Wasn't something crazy going on like that? Some stolen baby? Kawaii Honey said NBA Youngboy got released. I didn't know he was locked down. Monkeypox. Let's talk about the monkeypox. Anybody ever had monkeypox? How come we're just now hearing about this monkeypox? I feel like they're playing a joke on us again. I'm just glad I'm celibate. Ain't no chance I'm getting the monkeypox. Because then they say it's basically a sexually transmitted disease. So that means I'm cool. Because ain't shit popping over here. I ain't getting no damn monkeypox. And why it always gotta be blamed on some poor animal? Always gotta be some animal's fault. Oh boy. Stay Humble said I heard it's airborne. Well, I'm glad I'm an introvert. I don't be going many places anyway. You said, what's the monkeypox natal chart, right? When did it first get released? And that's the key word, released. So now it's airborne, but they were trying to say that it basically gets transmitted through sexual contact. They constantly making up shit as they go along. You said they coochie shaming the monkey is sacred. Trying to get to you and that monkey. Trying to get to you and that monkey. Right? I feel like they are trying to clown us. Queen Dark D said they have had a vaccine since August 2007 for the monkeypox. The funky monkey. That funky monkey. Brass monkey. That funky monkey. But yeah, they had the swine flu, the monkey pox, the chicken pox, the cow pox, the bird flu. What else they got? The Rona, the ether, they blame that on some bats. Yes, the BC boys. What's going to be next? The gorilla flu. It's like they're not giving us no time to just like be at peace and like focus on like the what really matters in life. Every time we turn around, there's some crisis. Hey, Earth Angel. Yeah, but they're gonna make it spill over into us as well. They can say it's starting with LGBTQ, but that's what they said with AIDS too. And AIDS was manufactured in a lab. Oops, let me stop talking because the powers that be don't like you telling the truth. Mm-hmm. Biden about to bite the bullet, I heard. First they're saying he got cancer, now they're saying it's just COVID. Like, which one is it? All I know is he's like deteriorating fast. And it's a clown show. He's shaking imaginary people's hands and shit. Don't know whether he's coming or going. Don't know whether he's shitting or eating. I mean, he's just a hot mess. You said Biden is fine. He's a Scorpio. He's half dead. They need to just retire that man. But then Kamala is going to step up. That's really scary. Yeah, him falling off the bike and shit. And he didn't even fall off the bike while the bike was still moving. He fell off once the bike came to a stop. I was like, how you do that? You said he is Hades personified. And somebody need to fix that hair too. Look like they haven't cut that back of that hair in a minute. They just letting him go out the house any old way at this point. It's just sad. Like, the whole United States is a joke. It's sad. Oh, this is what I gotta talk about. Has anybody seen that show? Oh my God, what's it called? Harlem. I watched all of the episodes of Harlem. The show with Megan Good. I hated it. Hey, Cameron. I hated that show. It was horrible. It was so bad I can't even remember what's so bad about it to talk about. First of all, they act young and dumb in that show. You know, I was trying to, support Megan Good because, I'm not a fan of Megan Good, but I am interested in, seeing her grow as an actress. And I would like to see her do well. So I was really hoping that, this would be a pretty decent show. What was that other show with the black women? I forgot what it was called, but that wasn't too bad. Insecure isn't too bad of a show. I didn't like She's Gotta Have It, really. But this show, Harlem, it's just a waste of time. It's whack. It's corny. And again, they act very immature for their age. That big head bitch from Empire is in it. And I wasn't feeling her in Empire. I'm not feeling her on this show either. And then I put two and two together because in the show, she's supposed to be half Jamaican. And if you know who I mean, the chick from Empire, she was Terrence Howard's girlfriend, I think. With the big ass, she got a big ass blockhead. And anyway, she's playing a half Jamaican in that. And I was like, yeah, they're doing that to try to give credence to Kamala Harris being half Jamaican. Trying to act like Kamala Harris is a sister. I'm just like, just stop. Yeah, but don't even waste your time with that show, Harlem. It was terrible. And my cousin Skeeter got the nerve to be up in that shit too. He playing a male stripper in that show, in case y'all want to see his body. I was like, wow, that's what he's been reduced to. Playing stripper roles and shit. He always had that funny look to me. You said I watched nothing but Heartstopper. I don't know about that show. You said Kamala Harris didn't even speak to her Jamaican father. She talks about her Indian mother all the time. And let's not forget, there's plenty of Indians, East Indians in Jamaica. So again, you could say your father is Jamaican all you want. It don't mean he's a black Jamaican. Jen Hun said TV weird now, P Valley gross. Now, what's the P stand for with this P Valley? I'm afraid to ask, but I never seen P Valley. Is it a strip club show? Said Robert Richard is my ex-boyfriend from high school. He was weird at 13. Now, who's Robert Richard? Is he on that show? Harlem? I'm scared, Supernova. No, if you could do it real quick, because I got to hurry up and get off and teach a class. If you could get it in real quick. just check my email. I remember I went to a city. Yeah, cause okay. And I saw that was your boyfriend, cousin Skeeter? And I saw a Wu-Tang show. Did I always wanted. Oh yeah, what's the P stand for in P Valley? And what's gross about it? You said he a good guy, but a whole freak at 13. He looked like he might have got turned out at an early age. He there was always something sad, a little sadness behind the eyes. Is he well hung? I had a feeling Puss Valley. Know who I want to do? Know whose chart I want to do? Because I've been learning about more about her. Amy Schumer. I didn't realize she's like so disgusting because I'm not into her type of comedy and shit. But I don't know why I started watching something about her. But I didn't realize she's so hated. Like a lot of people can't stand her. And I see why. First of all, she's not funny and she's disgusting. And from what I heard, she's always talking about how her pussy stank. And I was like, I gotta see what's in her chart. I don't even know what her sun sign is. What's Amy Schumer's sun sign? Let me see if I have her chart in my files. But yeah, I might do a video on her because I was like, yeah, she is vile. And she just has that nasty look. So when she talk about she stank, I believe it. Let's see. Do I have her in my chart? Amy Schumer. Nope. And I don't got time to be pulling it. I got to get ready and go. Okay, so I got your cash out. What's your question? Who's this? This is Shizaya. Thank you for your cash app. Ew, that pastor. Rebecca, I'm looking at the email you sent me. Is he African? Because that's how a lot of them Africans be dressing. Oh, she's a Gemini. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a video reading on her because she's nasty. Ew, looks like she has a large curve. Oh my God. What a visual. Yuck. Yeah. But what's your question, Shizaya? Because I gotta go. Oh, so you want me to do a chart on Amy Schumer? Okay. So I'm gonna add her to my list. All right. And who post? Where's Shizaya? Ask your question. Because I gotta get ready to go. Andre says, speaking of shows, Netflix is struggling right now. I heard about that. I heard they're losing a lot of money. Bunch of stripping. How original. Queen Doris D said, I had to get away from him fast. My mom cussed out his family a whole melee. It wouldn't tell me what happened at Nickelodeon. No, I didn't know Amy was disgusting like that. Yeah, I heard that she be stealing jokes from people. So yeah, I gotta see what's in her chart because she is a hot mess. And I wonder like how she got into the position she's in. Like, how could she even call herself a comedian? She's not funny at all. All right, where's your question? Okay, Supernova, here it is. Is there anything hidden from me that I should be aware of? All right, let me pull a card and then I have to go for real after this. You should see my nails. And I am going to be on camera soon. But I've been obsessed with doing my nails lately. And I have this nail polish that's temperature controlled. So In the bottle it's red, but then when you put it on your nails it turns yellowy orange, and then when you run your fingers under cold water, red starts to come back. Like, it's so dope. So it looks like a Leo sunset. I'm just like so in love with my nails right now, and I've been spending a lot of money just getting nail supplies. I be watching all these nail videos. Oh my god. So that's like my little guilty passion right now. So right now I'm just dealing with like gel manicures, doing it for myself, but I might move up to poly gel. I don't think I'm probably going to get into acrylics, but just doing pedicures for myself because I'm not a big fan of acrylic, especially the way it smells. But I definitely want to try polygel after I really get used to doing the gel manicures. But oh my god, I love it. All right. Oh, I'm gonna try to do another live probably Thursday or Friday. Stay Humble said gel is way more healthy. Yeah, I can tell. I got the Six of Swords. So you said, is there anything that you need to be aware of? Isn't that what you said? No, the Six of Swords can deal with a death. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not saying you're deaf, but it could be the death of someone in your family, someone that is close to you. If it's not a death, it could be if you're in a relationship, your partner might be pulling away from you. But this can also mean just be careful when you're traveling because somebody might cut you off. You might experience some type of static or whatever while you're on the road. So just be more careful. Cameron said, I love poly gel. That's what I used to do my nails, or just regular gel. Well, Cameron, you're going to have to give me some tips on how to do, because see, I don't want to be raggedy with it. I'm pretty good at applying the gel, but even the set that I did last night, the gel is a bit too thick. Like, I laid it on a little. You got to be careful with the gel. I learned. You really need to just do very thin applications, and I did like 3 coats, and by the time I did the third coat, it came out a little too thick. It don't look bad, but I can be a little bit a perfectionist with like beauty stuff because I got Venus and Libra. So the next one I do, I'm gonna make sure I do a much thinner coat. But yeah, I want to learn how to do poly gel eventually. So Cameron, don't be surprised if I hit you up for some poly gel tips. Now, you do the poly gel for your own natural nails, or do you use tips? Do you use forms? I can never do the nail forms. But oh yes, nail career education. I love her. Wait a minute, what's her name? She's a Virgo. Why can't I remember her name? But the she's the brunette. She's like a veteran in terms of being a nail technician. She's a Virgo, but why can't I remember her name? But yeah, that's her channel. I also love long hair, pretty nails. Vanity Val, that's another one. Oh, she funny as hell. There's some really good nail channels out there if you're into nails. But yeah, so that's that. Susie, yes. Oh, get out. You use nail forms? See, I'm intimidated by the nail forms. You really got to know what you're doing. But yes, I love Susie. Susie has such a calming voice. And yeah. So I wasn't surprised when I found out she's a Virgo. I don't know her birthday though, but I'm getting some Cancer vibes from her too. And then who's the other one that I really like too? There's some ones that do some real long, outlandish nails that I would never have myself, but I love looking at them. I just like looking at these girls' artistry too. Like, they're really good at what they do. And then I wanted to do a reading on, but this might be just for my Patreon. Y'all know about What's Her Face, Christine of Hollow Taco. She's another nail one. She's a very popular YouTuber, and she has her own line of nail polish that's like holographic and stuff. But I wanted to do a reading on her too. Maria Ortiz, she's the one with the super long nails. Yeah, yep. So so I'm gonna be doing some more readings, but with the YouTubers, I kind of want to reserve that for my Patreon because, you know, sometimes I might say something about a YouTuber and they might feel some type of way. But I'll tell you one I really want to do. I want to do an expose on this one YouTuber. I won't mention her name right now, but yeah, I peeped her game, and I kind of quasi exposed another YouTuber on my Patreon. So if you want to get the tea on some of these YouTubers, consider joining my Patreon, because I'm more freer to talk about some of these people. Yes, I remember getting my nails airbrushed. She's a Libra, that's right. You said you want her holographic polish. I want some of her polishes too, but it's like I kind of graduated from polish to the gel. It's like once you go gel, it's hard to go back. Even though I have a bunch of nail polishes in my closet, it's hard to go back to the regular polish. I love it all though. I love nail polish, gel, the poly gel, and then they got the builder gel. Even like I just love seeing nails getting done. I got Mars and Gemini in the 6th house. But anyway, let me get off. I gotta go to class very soon. Love you guys. I'll be back very soon. Take care. Stay cool. And I'll be back. Thanks, y'all.